ॐ दक्षिणास्य समारम्भा शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमा अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ता स्मर्या गुरुपरम्परा श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणम् सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। परिज्ञानाश्रम श्रीगुरुशङ्कर परिज्ञानाश्रम शङ्कर सद्गुरु केशववामन कृष्णपाण्डुरङ्ग आनंद परिज्ञान गुरु सद्योजात शंकर सद्गुरु गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। With the grace and blessings from our entire Guru Parampara and especially our beloved Swamiji, Pujya Shankarashram Swamiji, Sadyojat Shankarashram Swamiji, we have completed almost 3.5 years of weekly sessions in Vedanta. And this Vedanta that we have talked about or discussed is not in any way diluted to suit the requirement of any particular group of people. It is Vedanta as clearly and as purely as it has been taught by the Guru Parampara from one Guru to the Shishya, starting from Lord Dakshinamurti. And it was a very specific instruction to me by our Swamiji that Vedanta should not be diluted in any way. Make it simple for people to understand, but don't dilute it or don't divert from the central message of Vedanta. Don't mix up other things. Let whatever you're conveying be absolutely true and absolutely the teaching that is given in the Upanishads, in the Vedanta, by every guru starting from Lord Dakshinamurti. And we have seen that of late, our Pujya Swamiji is very much insisting on Vedanta Shravanam. And he always says, which is also the message of the scriptures, that any amount of karma and upasana will only give us the preparedness for this jnanam. No amount of puja, no amount of anushtana, no amount of upasana is going to give us that freedom from samsara, which we all desire, which is called as moksha. Ultimately, every one of us want to be free from our limitations. We want to be free from whatever is binding us. So-called, we assume and presume that this whole Jagat or samsara is binding us. We want to be free from all those limitations. And understanding what the teaching of Vedanta is the only way to see ourselves free from all the bondage that at present we are perceiving. And that is called as moksha. Moksha is not something where you acquire some kind of a different place, you go to a different place. It's not something where you acquire something materially. Moksha is purely an understanding, a knowledge that frees us from our present limitations and from our samsara. And therefore, knowing is most important here, not doing. And knowing is something, knowing what? The right sources of knowledge. Vedas, Vedanta, the Upanishads, the Prakarana Granthas, the Bhagavad Gita, the Brahma Sutras, what we call as Prasthanatrayas, are the very important sources, the only source of knowledge which give us this knowledge. Pramana, we call it. The only instrument, the only source of knowledge which gives us this very essential knowledge which frees us from our samsara. And therefore, Swamiji has been of late insisting in every of his Ashirvachans that one has to listen. Shravanam is very important. Vedanta Vichara is very important. And that's what we are doing for the last 3.5 years without a break on every Wednesday. And if we just go back on the memory lane, the first text that we took was Bhagavad Gita, which talked about karma, which talked about upasana, which talked about the values, which talked about so many other things, but gave us in nutshell whatever is the central teaching of Upanishads. Then we went to an introduction to Vedanta, a little deeper introduction to Vedanta, something like our Tattva Bodha and Atma Bodha, using the text Viveka Chudamani. And after Viveka Chudamani, 108 verses of Viveka Chudamani, we thought, we means all of us, that we are now capable of entering into the Upanishads, the entry level Upanishads. There's nothing like an entry level Upanishad. But out of the 10 Upanishads, the gurus in the parampara, in the teaching parampara, generally take up simpler Upanishads, which are easy to understand, where there are not many objectionists objecting for everything that the Upanishad guru says. And two of such Upanishads, that is the Kathopanishad and Mundakopanishad, also we completed. And in the middle, between the two Upanishads, what we did was we took up the Advaita Parastotras of Bhagwan Adi Shankaracharya. Again, trying to go back and ruminate over what we had studied in the Upanishads. And now, just recently, we have completed the second Upanishad, that is the Mundakopanishad, which has given us a very clear understanding of, or a sample of, these two Upanishads have given us a sample of how the Upanishadic teaching goes on. What are the important aspects of Upanishadic teaching and how the teachings go on? We have seen that. And now again, when we come to our next text that we are going to take, because Vedanta teaching is generally text-based. It's not some random talk. Of course, many times when teachers don't have or gurus don't have enough time, they may take a small aspect of Vedanta, one particular mantra from some Upanishads and discuss. That is there. But actually, the study of Vedanta involves taking up different texts, either an Upanishadic text, or the Gita, or the Prakarana Granthas written by our great Acharyas. And all this time, we have taken up even Prakarana Granthas like Viveka Chudamani, like the stotras of Adi Shankaracharya, which are nothing but Prakarana Granthas. We have taken the Prakaranas also written by Adi Shankaracharya only. Because in the Prakarana Granthas of Adi Shankaracharya, we don't see any contradiction with the basic teaching of the Upanishads. And these Prakarana Granthas give us or guide us exactly in the same way, in a parallel manner to the Upanishads. So this time, for the study in this particular session, we have taken up the study of a text called as Aparokshanubhuti, Aparokshanubhuti. And Aparokshanubhuti is also a text, a Prakarana Grantha, which is attributed to Bhagavan Adi Shankaracharya. It is accepted. It is commonly accepted from the style of the verses. It is accepted that it is a text, it is a Prakarana Grantha. Grantha means a particular, a body of knowledge, a Grantha. A Grantha may be of a particular 100 verses, it may be 200 verses, whatever it may be. But then We have various Prakarana Granthas of varying sizes. Size does not matter. A compact compilation of the Vedantic truths given in a certain way, we call it as the Grantha. So this Grantha that we are taking now presently for our study is called as Aparokshanubhuti, thought to be written by Bhagwan Adi Shankaracharya. So now let us see first. Let us let us go through an introduction of what is the meaning of this particular title, and then see, what are the different ways or the sadhanas for attaining whatever, or understanding, or reaching, or abiding in whatever has been told here. That would be the basic introduction of this text itself. And I may remind you that many people were asking me, why don't you take Tattva Bodha again? And we all feel, I feel, that this Aparokshanubhuti is also another Tattva Bodha. And Aparokshanubhuti, like Atma Bodha, is a very beautiful text because it is in verses. It is in verses, simple verses, which can be chanted simply, easily. And the matter that we see in Aparokshanubhuti is again the complete discussions that take place in Vedanta as to who is an adhikari, what is the meaning of sadhana chatushtaya sampatti, what is the meaning of karma, what is the meaning of upasana, what is the meaning of bandha, what is the meaning of moksha, what are the sadhanas involved in traveling from bandha to moksha, and ultimately what is the moksha phalam, what is it to be a jivan mukta. This is a complete Vedantic Prakarana Grantha. And Aparokshanubhuti also is a complete Vedantic Grantha, very similar to Tattva Bodha and Atma Bodha. And the purpose now of our coming back here is back to the basics. When we are doing a lot of these advanced studies, like we took up Upanishads, we took up Advaita Stotras of Adi Shankaracharya, sometimes we may find that we have some doubts about the basic aspects, the basic things that are discussed with, we may have some difficulty with them. And so it is always better that after doing a grantha like an Upanishad or anything, better to come back to the basics and revise our basics again so that we don't have any doubts regarding the basic aspects that are the building blocks of Vedanta. That the basic building blocks of Vedanta, sometimes we find that we are not really, when those terms are used, when those ideas are used in the Upanishad, we find that we are not able to really understand what this is because we have somewhere, slipped away from the basics. It should not happen for a adhikari, that is for a person who is well prepared intellectually for this knowledge. It should not happen when the buddhi is prepared well by karma yoga and upasana yoga with adequate chitta shuddhi and chitta naishalyam. It should not happen like that. But then it happens in our case because the shravanam that we do is not consistent. We are not consistently in Vedanta. Sometimes it so happens that we don't give, for whatever reasons. I'm not saying that it is wrong or right, but for whatever reasons, we are not able to commit ourselves enough time for the study, and we seem to kind of, have problems with the very basics of Vedanta. And therefore, once in a way, it is better to look into the basics of Vedanta. And Aparokshanubhuti is one text like that, which is going to help us to revise our basics and strengthen the basic aspects of Vedantic teaching so that in the study of our future texts, it becomes much easier. So now let us go to the text itself. And let me tell you what this is. Every title of every Prakarana Grantha is very meaningful. It's not that a particular title is simply given like that by the author. The title has a lot of importance and it tells us the central theme of the teaching of a particular grantha. And here, Aparokshanubhuti actually contains two words, Aparoksha and Anubhuti. Aparoksha plus Anubhuti becomes Aparokshanubhuti. What is the meaning of Anubhuti? What is the meaning of Anubhuti? Anubhuti means knowledge. Anubhuti sometimes is translated as an intimate experience, but Anubhuti actually stands for knowledge. Anubhuti means a clear knowledge, a clear understanding. That is Anubhuti. And what is the meaning of Aparoksha Anubhuti? Aparoksha Anubhuti means a very direct or an intimate understanding, a direct knowledge. Now you will understand, you will ask me a question. If there is something called Aparoksha Anubhuti, is there a knowledge which is gained by any other means? Are there any other types of knowledge? So, for this, we have to understand that knowledge can be had in three ways. Three ways understanding any knowledge, not only Vedanta, any knowledge. First is called as the Pratyaksha, a knowledge which is Pratyaksha, eyewitness, Pratyaksha Anubhuti. Pratyaksha means that which I see with all my sense organs, which I perceive with any or all my sense organs. It's called as a Pratyaksha Pramana. That is, there is an object in front of me. I see that object and then get the knowledge or understanding of that object, which is called as the Pratyaksha Pramana. In this Pratyaksha Pramana or Pratyaksha knowledge or Pratyaksha Anubhuti, my sense organs are perceiving something which is outside me. Okay, this is Pratyaksha. Then we have another type of knowledge which is gained by what is called as Paroksha. Paroksha Jnanam. This is Pratyaksha Jnanam, what I talked about first. Using my sense organs, seeing for myself, perceiving for myself something, Pratyaksha Jnanam. Then we have what is called as the Paroksha Jnanam. Paroksha Jnanam means there is something which I do not know about, I have not seen it, I have not experienced it, but I know about it through some other source, not myself directly. For example, my friend has gone to Switzerland and come back, and he or she tells me all details about Switzerland. I have not gone there. I have not seen that place directly, but I know about it through somebody else's knowledge, through somebody else's experience. I know. This is what is called as the Paroksha Jnanam. And for Paroksha Jnanam to become Pratyaksha Jnanam, I have to myself go to Switzerland and experience whatever I had heard from somebody else. Then that Paroksha Jnanam becomes the Pratyaksha Jnanam for me. Now, what is the meaning of Aparoksha Jnanam? In Pratyaksha and Paroksha Jnanam, the knowledge of whatever I get is an object outside me. I either utilize my own sense organs as the pramana, or I take somebody else's words as the pramana, and that becomes the paroksha jnanam for me, where I am knowing, or the jnanam I am getting is of something outside me. Okay? Whereas aparoksha jnanam or aparoksha anubhuti is directly understanding about myself, a direct understanding, immediate understanding, without the help of somebody else telling me, without the help of seeing myself as an object. I, this I, which I call myself, the subject I. What is this I? Who am this I? Understanding this I, actually, what am I? I see myself as the body. I see myself as the sense organs. I see myself as the mind. I see myself as the prana. Am I all this? Or am I something else? So, this is the knowledge that I have about the reality of myself without the pramana of somebody else's experience, or without the pramana of sense organs catching myself as an object. Because when somebody asks me, are you there? When somebody asks me, are you there? I don't need anybody to tell me that I'm there. I don't need anybody to, to guide me to tell that I'm there. I don't see myself as a person outside me. At the same time, I don't have to believe in what somebody else says I am, but I have a direct knowledge of I am, which we saw in previous texts in Dakshinamurti Stotram, in all of them, Hastamalakyam, all those stotras in Upanishads also we saw that. I, when I say I am, it is a direct experience. It is an immediate experience. It's not an indirect experience. If somebody tells me that this person, somebody takes my name and says that this so and so is not here. But if I'm there, what do I say? No, no, I'm here, I'm here. I don't have to ask any. Somebody tells me, are you sure you are there? Of course. I don't need to ask anybody whether I'm there or not. I am. I know I am. I'm here. I'm myself the proof. I know I am. This knowing myself immediately, directly, without the help of anything else is called as Aparoksha Jnanam or Aparoksha Anubhuti. The next question that comes is, are we all not knowing ourselves now? I know I am. If I'm sitting somewhere and if somebody asks me, where is Dr. Sudha? I will say, yes, I'm here. Because I am, I know. Correct? So I know that I am. But is this anubhuti or the knowledge that I have about myself, is it the correct knowledge? I think, yes, I am. And when they ask me, who are you? What do I start saying? I'm so and so. My name is so and so. I'm born to so and so. I was born in such and such a place. I give my entire biodata. And all those details refer to whom? It refers to this body mind sense complex, which is named as something else, XYZ or something. But what I'm talking about really, I am, though I know I am, I really do not know what really I am. I mistake myself, I think of myself as this body. I identify myself with this body. I identify myself with the place where I was born. I identify myself with the people around me, so and so's brother, so and so's sister, so and so's wife, so and so's daughter, so and so's mother. I identify myself with me with respect to some other person or with some other place or whatever it is. So, what our scriptures say is your knowledge or anubhuti about yourself is not the right knowledge. And that is the reason why you are suffering from the limitations of samsara. Sukha, dukkha, whatever we are suffering. Can any one of us say we are really purna and happy? No. We are always having something which is missing in our lives. There is always some kind of a want in our lives. There is always some discomfort in our lives. Very, very rarely, occasionally, for a few moments, we may be very happy. But most of the time, we are riddled with some kind of an impermanence, anxiety, stress, so many things. And we are not with ourselves. We are not ourselves. So, what our scriptures say is that Aparokshanubhuti means knowing intimately, knowing directly as to what I really am, not what I think I am. What I think or identify myself with, I'm not that. I am something which I have not really bothered to understand or see. This body, mind, sense complex is so strong. My identity with them is so strong. I have identified myself so intimately with things which I'm not, with Anatma. I have my Anatma Tadatmyam is so great, so deep that I do not know who I am. And therefore, a person who is having moksha as his purushartha, we all have, that's why we are attending these Vedanta Vichara we are doing. Why? Because we want to know the reality of ourselves. We want to know the reality of the world with which we are interacting. We want to know the reality of Ishvara, who is the intelligence which is handling me and the world, or the entire Vyavaharika Prapancha, the Vyavaharika Jiva, whatever is here. Some intelligence with all its laws that is handling it with such precision. We call that Ishvara. What is that the truth of that Ishvara? What is the truth of me? What is the truth of this world? What is the Swarupam? And once I understand my truth, once I understand what I am really, then it is not difficult for me to understand the true nature of Jagat and Ishvara. So Aparokshanubhuti is a Prakarana Grantha where Bhagavan Shankaracharya in 144 verses is talking about the sadhanas, the stepwise sadhanas that are necessary for us to have this immediate, direct understanding called as aparoksha anubhuti. I always take a little longer time for the introduction because introduction is a very important thing. Because in the text we can go a little faster because all those things which we are going to see are already known by us. It's like a revision, we can go fast. But introduction is extremely important. Now, let me tell you a story which is told in the Vedanta always for what this Aparoksha Anubhuti is. It's about these 10 shishas, 10 people, 10 boys. The Shamonasti story, you all know, which all Vedanta texts discuss, and I have also discussed on many occasions before. 10 people go swimming. One of the boys is given the responsibility of seeing that all of them are together and come back safely. And when they go swimming and across the river, this boy counts everybody from different sides and finds that there are only 9. Okay, he doesn't count himself, he counts 9 from all directions. He counts again and again and again and finds that there are only 9 and starts crying. And an apta or a friend or a person who's a considerate person, an elderly person, comes there and asks, "Why are you crying?" He says, "10 of us came, but only 9 of them are there. I don't know where the 10th one has gone. The 10th one is here only." He is the one who's saying that we don't know where the 10th one is. 9 are there, and I'm afraid I was given the responsibility of seeing that all the 10 are brought back normally. So, what does he do? This apta means what? A person who is a bandhu or a person who's concerned about what is happening. And he tells him, "Look, there is no question of," he says, "Dashamo nasti." The boy says, "The 10th one is not there." Then this apta bandhu says, "Dashamaha asti." There is a 10th one. The 10th is here only. Where is the 10th one? It is you, the counter. The one who counted, you are the 10th one. Now see, did this boy not know that he's there? He's there because he says, I have to count. I have to take all of us, all the 10 back. He knows he's there. There's no doubt. He tells that Apta that 9 are here, 10th one is not there. That means what? In spite of being there, in spite of saying, I am counting, he does not realize that I'm the 10th boy. And what does the Apta say? No, no, the 10th one is there. And you, the counter of the other 9, is the 10th one. At that time, this 10th boy understands, oh, yes, I am the 10th one in reality. This is Aparokshanubhuti. Okay? Where am I? I don't know. I am the body. My body is suffering. I am suffering. My sense organs are not working. I am not working. My mind is disturbed. I am disturbed. My buddhi is disturbed. I am disturbed. So who am I then? Am I this body? Am this mind? Am I this sense complex? Am I this prana? Who am I then? We have already seen that in Bhagavad Gita, the second chapter itself, Atma Swarupa. So when this person says, you are that person whom you are looking for, this is the plight of all of us. We know we are, but we don't know who we are. We don't know that I am that Atma Swarupa, the only thing that is countable. Everything else does not deserve any counting. The only thing that is necessary or the only thing which is worth knowing is I, myself. And this teaching, this understanding about who I am and who I am not is given in this Aparoksha Anubhuti. Aparoksha Anubhuti. Knowing myself the way I am, knowing myself exactly what really I am in reality, not my mistaken notions about myself. That is Aparoksha Anubhuti. Now, for this Aparoksha Anubhuti, that is to get this knowledge or to know this, what do I do? There should be sadhanas required, correct? This is the sadhyam. What is the meaning of sadhana and sadhyam? We have seen that. In Sadhana Panchakam of Shankaracharya Stotras, when we did, I have in detail explained about what is a sadhanam and what is sadhya. Sadhya means that which I want to attain, that which I want to know, that which I want to gain. That's called as the sadhyam, that which is to be gained. Depending upon the purushartha of all of us. If it is a dharma purusharthi, the sadhyam is what? Punya papa gathering and going to the higher lokas. If it is an artha purusharthi, what is the sadhyam? Accumulating artha, accumulating all materials required for security, arthakami. Okay? For a person who is a vidyarthi, what is the sadhyam? Attaining sufficient proficiency in that branch of knowledge, vidya. That is the sadhya. Correct? For a kama purusharthi, fulfilling his desires in any way, doesn't matter. Dharmically or adharmically, it doesn't matter. Fulfilling my desires, I want this, I want to enjoy this, I want to do this, fulfill it, however it is. That is the sadhyam of a kama purusharthi. Then what is the sadhyam of a moksha purusharthi? Aparokshanubhuti is the real goal. Moksha is the goal. What is moksha? Moksha is the knowledge, the reality of myself. This knowledge which reveals the reality of myself is called as moksha. It is not a thing to be acquired. It's not a place to go. Moksha is understanding myself truly what I am, this knowledge which frees me from all my bondage and all my misunderstandings about myself. So, if Aparokshanubhuti is my sadhyam as a moksha purusharthi, what are the sadhanams that are necessary? What are the sadhanani? What are the means? Sadhyam means the end or the goal. Sadhana means the means. What means do I employ for this particular thing? And this set of three means is called as Jnana Yoga, which I have to employ for Aparokshanubhuti. Shravanam, Mananam, and Nididhyasanam. Shravana means what? Listening to the Guru and Vedanta Vichara. Vedanta Vichara Shravanam Guru Mukhena Shastra Adhyayanam. And not once in 1 year, consistently, regularly, as an everyday practice. Like I do so many things every day which are necessary. I eat every day 3 times a day. I have a bath every day. If I'm a sick person, I take medicines every day. So, like that, it should become a routine, consistent practice of listening to Shastra, which talks about this. And what is the Shastra that talks about my reality? Veda or Vedanta, which is the only Pramanam. Nothing else is the Pramanam. Nothing else is the means of knowledge except Shastra. Guru Mukhena Shastra Shravanam consistently. How long? It depends on how much, what is my preparation of my mind. How my intellect is prepared, how my buddhi is prepared, depending on my yogyata, jnana yogyata, how much time it takes, we don't know. I have to listen again and again and again. Vedanta is not like reading a novel. It's not like listening to some music or something for once and enjoying it. No. Again and again and again, I have to listen. Then only it becomes familiar to me. It starts sinking in me. So, Vedanta Shravanam, consistent period of time, and sticking to one system of philosophy and one acharya. It's very necessary. Because there are so many branches. Today I go to a Buddha guru, tomorrow I go to a Jain guru, and after some time I go to a Charvaka guru. Then I go to somebody who says no need of listening to Vedanta, only if you do this particular kriya or this meditation, that is enough. So that won't work. So it all depends on, one has to stick to Vedanta Guru, listen to Vedanta Vichara, consistent period of time, and I should have enough of perseverance, enough of patience to be with it and to go with it. Just like a marathon runner has the perseverance and the capacity to be with it and do the sadhana. That's the meaning of sadhana. Consistent listening, Shravanam. Then comes Mananam. Just listening is not enough. I listen this week, come back again, listen next week. No. I have to think over what has been listened to by me and then think over it. And if it is necessary, if there are any doubts, I have to listen again. Ask questions to the Guru, read about it, sort out my doubts. This is called as Mananam. Making the knowledge that I heard from Shravanam doubt free is Mananam. Nididhyasanam is nothing but assimilating this knowledge. Assimilating this knowledge, doubt free knowledge, so that this knowledge becomes a part of my entire being and personality. And mind you, out of these three processes, Shravanam is the only thing which gives me knowledge, nothing else. Mananam is after Shravanam, Nididhyasanam is after Shravanam. What is it that gives me knowledge? What is it that my brain absorbs? Shravanatyeva Jnanam. Jnanam, Vedanta Jnanam cannot come by any other means except Shravanam. Vedanta Shravanena Yeva Vedanta Shravanat Yeva Jnanam. So I have to be consistent. It may take years, it doesn't matter. I have started the journey, that is important. It doesn't matter how many years it takes, how many lives it takes. Starting the journey of knowing myself towards Aparokshanubhuti, taking the first step of Shravanam. And the first step of Shravanam also, when my intellect is sufficiently prepared for this knowledge. Jnana yogyata praptyanantaram. Okay, after that only I can really put myself in front of a guru and shastra and learn, because an unprepared mind, I may enter into Vedanta, nobody can stop me from entering into Vedanta, nobody can stop me from listening, but then I have to have the yogyata also by karma yoga and upasana yoga, chitta shuddhi and chitta nischalyam. And therefore, the sadhana that we are doing now, which our Swamiji has been very, very keenly and deeply reiterating all the time, do Vedanta Shravanam, do Vedanta Shravanam. Do all your sadhanas in the form of upasana, anushtanam, japa, do everything. But please do Vedanta Shravanam, Vedanta inquiry, vichara. That is the only way of getting this knowledge. And that is what we are doing now. I think I have given a very long introduction, but I feel it was necessary for it. So we'll go to this text. This text has 144 verses, and all the verses are, most of them are in Anushtup Chandas. Therefore, it is in a verse form, not like our Tattva Bodha, which is in text form, not like our Vivek Chudamani, where some of them are in the text form. No, here, most of the verses are in the verse form and easy to chant and very nice to chant also, like Vivek Chudamani, where the chantable verses are very beautiful to chant, like that here also. Even mere chanting slowly starts making us understand the meaning. Of course, chanting alone is not sufficient. We have to understand what we have chanted. So 144 verses in Anushtup Chandas. And here the text goes in an orderly manner. In an orderly manner, from starting from the Adhikari to the whole process, like Viveka Chudamani. So it opens up the entire sadhana that is necessary for moksha and goes till moksha, and it's the phalam of moksha. Remember always, moksha is not anything to be gained as an object. Moksha is not an experience to be gained. Moksha is the right knowledge about myself, which frees me from all my bondage and limitations. So the first verse of Aparokshanubhuti is nothing but the Mangalacharanam. What is Mangalacharanam? Prayer verse. Somebody asked a Vedanta guru, if Adi Shankaracharya has written Prakarana Granthas like this, say Aparokshanubhuti, he is Lord Shiva incarnate. Shankaracharya is an incarnation of Lord Shiva. Why should he write a Mangalacharanam and pray? What is the need for Mangalacharanam? Bhagavan Shankaracharya may be a incarnation of Lord Shiva, but when he is writing this, any Prakarana Grantha, when he is writing, when he is teaching, he is available in the Jiva form only, isn't it? As Guru Shankaracharya, he is available as a Guru who is teaching as a Jiva. Therefore, he also has to write a prayer verse. In our culture, in our Sanatana Dharma, or in our culture, it is said that any grantha, the granthakara has to start with the Mangalacharanam or prayer verse. Why the prayer verse? You may have all the knowledge. You may make all the prayatnas to write the correct thing. But there is something called as a daiva, adrishtam, prarabdha, which may give obstacles, which may give pratibandhas. which may not allow me to complete the work I have started. Therefore, pratibandha nivrityartham, for the sake of removing the blocks, for the sake of removing whatever pratibandhas or obstacles are there, so that I write without any obstacles. The book or the grantha gets completed without any kind of blocks or any kind of obstacles. The book reaches people, because in those days it was not like this where we have printed books. Those days people used to write on patras. They could get destroyed in fire, in water, in floods. They could just get destroyed. And the purpose of writing such texts is for what? So that they reach the mumukshus, those who want moksha, the ones who want to be free. Mumukshus, those who want to know themselves, those who want to have the Aparokshanubhuti. Therefore, prayer verses are always written. And there is actually a saying that if any grantha does not have a prayer or Mangalacharanam, such grantha should not be read. Even that is there in our scriptures, that rule is there. That means this kind of a work is not worth reading if it doesn't start with prayer. So even people like Adi Shankaracharya, people like our Vidyaranya Swami, all these people who have written great acharyas, everything starts with Mangalacharanam. Bhagwan Shankaracharya starts his Bhashyam, Gita Bhashyam, with Mangalacharanam, offering prayers to Lord Narayana in Gita Bhashya. In every Bhashya of every Upanishad, Bhagwan Shankaracharya starts his Bhashya or commentary with Mangalacharanam. So even in a small work like this, he starts with Mangalacharanam, where he offers his prayers to Ishvara in the form of his Ishtadevata. We know that Ishvara is actually formless. We know that Brahman, what we call as Ishvara, Mayopadhi Sahita Brahman, Brahman with Maya Upadhi is called as Ishvara, we have seen that. Jivopadhi Sahitam Brahma is called as Avidya Upadhi Sahita Brahman is called as Jiva, we know that. Now, Ishvara may be all pervading, but then when I offer a prayer to Ishvara, I can offer that prayer to the total, to Ishvara, from any gateway. And the best gateway is my Ishta Devata. And it is said that Bhagwan Shankaracharya's Ishta Devata was Lord Vishnu. So he's offering the first verse as a prayer to the Lord Vishnu and also to his Guru. Normally, the prayer verses are offered to Ishvara either in the form of Ishtadevata, either in the form of what we call as the Namaskara Rupa Mangalacharanam. There is a Mangalacharanam asking for blessings, Ashirvada Swarupa Mangalacharanam, or it may be explaining the very Swarupam of this Ishvara, that also may be the Mangalacharanam. Different types are there. But in Aparokshanubhuti, here Bhagwan Adi Shankaracharya is seeking the blessings and prayers of Ishvara and the Guru in the form of Shri Hari, in the form of Vishnu, his Ishtadevata. So let us read this Mangalacharana shloka, that is the very first shloka of this 144 verses. Shri Harim Paramanandam Upadeshtaramishwaram Vyapakam Sarvalokanam Karanam Tam Namamyaham. Anushtup Chandas, very beautiful to chant, very beautiful to. So he says, Adi Shankara says, what does he say? Namami aham, namami aham. I offer my namaskaras. I prostrate before whom? Tam namami. Tam. I offer my namaskaras to that Ishvara. Who's that Ishvara? Shri Harim. Ishvara, or the total formless Brahman, or Mayopadhi Sahita Brahman called Ishvara, who is the total, I will reach and ask for blessings of that Ishvara, the total, through my Ishtadevata Vishnu, Shri Harim Namami. First word, Shri Harim. Hari means what? Hari indicates Vishnu or Narayana. What is the meaning of Harati? Hari. Harati Pratibandhan. Harati Sarvani Papani. That Vishnu, Hari, praying to whom all the obstacles, the duritas that are possibly there on the way are taken away. That is why whenever we are doing any japa or puja, if it is a nishkama puja, nishkama japa, what do we say? Mamopatta samasta durita kshaya dvara Shri Parameshwara Prityartham. Durita means what? The prarabdha karmas, the bad or the negative prarabdhas which I have attracted. Mama upatta. Nobody has given me. I have only accumulated prarabdhas. And any of those obstacles or prarabdhas, those duritas or the negative prarabdhas, if they are coming in the way of my sadhana, whether it is Shravana sadhana, whatever it is, Manana sadhana, Nididhyasa, whatever it is, or writing a book. Hey Shri Hari, Hey Narayana, if I have my own Ishtadevata, Hey Devi, Hey Ganapati, Hey Hanuman, whatever it is, may you please take them away. Duritakshaya dvara parameshwara prityartham. So Shri Harim tam namami. Hari harati sarvani papani harati sarva pratibandhan iti Hari. Shri Hari means what? Lakshmya yukta harihi. Lakshmi Narayanam aham namami. Shri Hari is incomplete without the Shakti of Shri. Hari is incomplete. Shri means what? The resources. Shri Hari. Lakshmya yukta Hari. Shri Harim namami. What kind of a Shri Hari is it? What kind of a Vishnu is it? What is the Swarupam of this Sri Hari? Paramanandam, Purnatva Swarupam. Not our 1 minute or 10 minutes or 10 seconds Ananda that we get by acquiring something. No. Paramanandam. That Hari, that Vishnu, that Ishvara, who is of the nature of Purnatvam, Ananda Swarupam, Paramanandam, Upadeshtaram. He himself, that Hari himself, comes in the form of Upadeshta, my Guru. When no Guru was available, Lord Narayana himself came. He himself came as Sri Krishna. And wherever it is necessary, Sri Hari sends a Guru. Okay? So, in the form of my Guru, you have appeared. Sri Harim, Kidrisham Shri Harim Namamyaham, Paramananda Swarupam, Upadeshtara Swarupam as a teacher, Ishwaram, this Sri Hari, who's nothing but that Ishvara, who's nothing but a manifestation of that Ishvara, Sri Harim. And who's this Hari? Who's this Ishvara? Who's this Sri Hari who's available as a manifestation of that Ishvara? Vyapakam sarvalokanam. Vyapnoti sarvam iti Vishnuhu. Vishnu is what? Vyapakam. That means what? Vyapnoti sarvam. The one who is available as the Sat Rupa, Chit Rupa, Ananda Rupa Atma. Paramanandam means what? Ananda Swarupa Atma. Upadeshtaram as the Chit Swarupa, Jnana Swarupa Atma or Brahman. Vyapakam Sarvalokanam. The one who is available as Sat Rupa, as the existence in all the worlds, in all the 14 worlds, 14 lokas which we talk about, and beyond that also, if there is anything. Vyapakam sarva lokanam, as what? Is he simply spreading himself? No, as Karanam. When Ishvara is the Jagat Karanam of this entire universe, the material with which this entire Jagat is made, then what we see everywhere is nothing but this Ishvara. Ishvara is Sarva Vyapakam. Therefore, my Vishnu is not different from Ishvara. My Devi, my Rama, my Krishna are just manifest forms of the total Ishvara. And Ishvara, as the Jagat Karanam Ishvara, Satrupena as existence, everywhere he's available. Chitrupena as the consciousness Swarupam, everywhere available as conscious jivas. Available in the form of my own guru, whoever the guru is teaching, nothing but a manifestation of Ishvara. That's why we say Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara. Available as my guru, Upadeshta. Upadeshtaram Satchit Ananda Rupa Atmanam Ishwaram Shri Hari Rupena Aham Namami. Shri Hari, associated, not mere Hari, associated with the Shakti called as Lakshmi, available everywhere. So let this Ishvara, whom I am offering the prayer in the form of my Ishta Devata, because I am right now not able to see the totality as Ishvara. I have my own way of connecting to that Ishvara. I have a small window through which I connect to that Ishvara, and that is my Ishta Devata. And through my Ishta Devata, whatever I offer, my prayers go to that total. That's why Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita, in whichever rupa, in whichever form you worship, it comes to me only. He said in Bhagavad Gita. So, Shri Harim Paramanandam Upadeshtaramishwaram Vyapakam Sarvalokanam Karanam Tam Namamyaham. So with this, Bhagwan Shankaracharya has offered his prayers to Shri Hari, his Ishta Devata, so that there are no obstacles in completing this book, this work. That time it was not a book. Completing his ideas put forth. No obstacles in the ideas. No buddhi doshas. No vak doshas. So may this Hari, may this Ishvara bless me so that this reaches the right hands. This reaches people who are interested or those who are serious about Aparokshanubhuti. With this, we will stop today's session, and maybe from the next session, we'll be able to go a little faster. And I plan to take about 25 sessions for this entire work. ॐ नन्दन्तु साधका सर्वे विनश्यन्तु विदूषकाः अवस्थाशाम्भवी मेस्तु प्रसन्नोऽस्तु गुरुः सदा सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखमाप्नुयात् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ तत्सत्